This weekend, 150 volunteers traveled to our nation's capital to participate in the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation's annual Government Day. While called Government Day, it is actually a 4-day event with a day and a half filled with informational sessions on government relations and JDRF's legislative activities, followed by 2 days of meetings on Capitol Hill with members of Congress.
Government Day is great. We all get together. We see people around the country that work on our programs 365 days a year, but they're doing that back home in their own districts locally. And we have a great staff that we work with. We get to come and talk about our strategy for the next year, our goals, what kind of accomplishments we've had against our metrics, what do we need to do, how do we need to improve and do things better.
Of the year, and it also re-energizes me. I think it's a great time to kind of find out what other people are doing, what they're doing right, what I can improve on, and what I can bring back to my state.
Those involved in Government Day are volunteers on JDRF's advocacy and government relations teams at the chapter level. On the first day, volunteers participated in sessions discussing the priorities for the JDRF on Capitol Hill. This year, members of Congress were asked to sign a letter to the FDA in support of JDRF's guidance document for the Artificial Pancreas Project. This guidance document includes expert recommendation for how to proceed with the clinical trials for the artificial pancreas.
And I think that government relations for JDRF has made such a difference. It's a huge impact. The special diabetes program, the kind of research that we can get done, just couldn't be done without just hundreds and actually thousands of volunteers throughout the country who speak to their congressmen, tell them what they need to know about life with type 1, and really just making an impact, letting them know their stories and working hard at what they do.
I think we have a major impact here in the programs in terms of advancing medical research policy like stem cell research, the artificial pancreas, working with the FDA, working with various government agencies, and we do believe we're making an impact in the path of cure.
The volunteers were from a variety of backgrounds, including parents, spouses, and adults with type 1 diabetes themselves.
Well, I like the interaction with the legislators and the legislative assistants. I like that it's a place where I think a large portion of the funds come from, and it's great to be able to set some direction and maybe have a bigger impact on getting money to research projects than generating $50,000 at a golf tournament or something like that. So I just like the public fundraising side, and I've been in JDRF so long that I felt like I tapped all my friends out.
We need the voices of adults with type 1. Legislators are very receptive to young adults, and I hope that you can put your energy and your passion into advocating for funding for research, because our hope for a cure depends on research, and the research depends on funding, and legislators listen to our voices, and it's really, really important that you put your voices towards this. Join us, and please work with us. We're not asking for dollars from your pocket. We're asking for your energy and your enthusiasm and your knowledge and your experience and your passion. What impresses me most when I go into these meetings is how little our congressmen and senators often know about the challenges that we deal with, whether it's financial and unemployment or insurance, or whether it's something like diabetes. They simply don't know. And sometimes we go into an office and they're pretty resistant and they're not that interested, and they don't know anyone with diabetes, and they may not know the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And we are polite, and we're persistent, and we keep coming back and talking with them and cultivating the relationship. That's a really important thing that we do. And some people looking at it think, well, you need to go in there and there are all these points. And while I initially thought that too, I see that our polite persistence works, and we keep coming back, and we've brought a lot of people around.
Included in this event were a group of 9 bloggers, including myself, who spoke on an afternoon panel about the importance of the diabetes online community and how JDRF volunteers and committees can utilize social media to support their efforts. A webcast of one of the panels is available on JDRF's website. We were also given an opportunity to meet with Jeffrey Brewer, the new CEO and president of JDRF, and Dr. Richard Insall, the Chief Scientific Officer. Jeffrey shared his own personal opinion on the new direction of JDRF, expressing that JDRF was not abandoning any previous goals, but are simply expanding to include new ones like outreach to adults and funding research on new technology.
Making sure that people understand it's a marathon, not a sprint. For some people, that comes as a very big shock because they were just told something much different, and they want to believe something much different. And so there's a little bit of shoot the messenger aspect to that. But I think it's our responsibility to provide leadership and on these issues. And I think once people sort of all see what we're up for as a challenge here in curing this disease and developing better treatments along the way, then it really makes us all part of the same effort. In 2003, it was the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and it was about research, and there wasn't really a place for outreach because we were going to cure the disease, and we didn't want to waste any resources on doing anything that was a half step. We just wanted to do away with the disease and be done with it. And that's all great if you're going to cure the disease in 5 years, throw everything at the research. But unfortunately, I think we realize it's going to be a little more challenging than that. It's going to take a little longer than that. And people have warmed up to the idea that JDRF needs to be there for people to help them live with this disease.
The messaging of Government Day will continue later on this year with the 7th Children's Congress in June, followed by the launch of the JDRF Promise to Remember Me campaign, which invites people of all ages to engage with their members of Congress at home. For more information about how to become a JDRF advocate, visit advocacy.jdrf.org.